So it was not a quantity day. Turns out people don't keep the 2026 diaries and planners. I don't know why. Obviously, the demand is much less at this time of the year, but I know people move and lose things when they do that. And other such events, like keeping a handful, half a dozen, would not, Anyway, I'm gonna use it to make my own. This, I was so disappointed that this was the only one in the bookstore. You know exactly where it is in the series because it does. Next page, no. Next, oh, yeah, tells you how far we are into it. And I was showing Mum, and I realized I don't know how many colours are in the rainbow. I used to know this shit by heart, but I guess I have lost my whimsy. So firstly, I want to shout out the British Heart Foundation, which was the charity shop where we found this. And also, now that I am awake, arguably, they do have all of the books on the back. So there is one after this, Heather, the Violet Fairy. And there's something niggling in the back of my head about like the colours of the rainbow not being quite what they were back then. I don't know if that's true. It's a weird thing to think about. For all that, Scotland rains, I don't actually remember the last time I've seen a rainbow. I might be confusing that with the Pride flag, however, which is the rainbow that I'm more used to seeing. I did consider going through this book by book, but I'm not that patient. And I also don't really want to lock myself into reading 7 of these. One very last thing before we actually start reading. I forgot about the illustrations, which makes sense, given the 5+ on the back of the book. But then I saw the girls and I was like, oh my god, yeah. I love all the lovely little details to the art up at the top, the inset illustrations, the leaves around the numbers. It's a very beautifully put together book. And I kind of wish we had more of those, Okay, so I'm going to say, because I am a little bit awful at time management, I was really worried when, Cornet and their sibling showed up, because they looked a little bit like Inuit, and obviously this came out when it did. I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to go down that route at all. I still would not be surprised if it did, but it seems fine. I think they're just, because it's cold. Izzy does seem a little bit of a handful though, and I don't know if that's just because I don't remember the shenanigans with, you know, the color magic. But yeah, poor gingerbread man. So it took until the very end for me to kind of start remembering things. Mostly when we got to the jelly beans. Although also I did remember the fan, and I am a little bit curious about that. There's something in the back of my head that's like that comes into play in the last book, but I genuinely could not tell you if that's just connecting dots that aren't there. That being said, it's been so long, it still makes me feel so good, this book. I think my strongest memory is maybe last day of school. I don't think we really got like report cards in primary school, especially not that young. But we were going to some restaurant out in the country. There was a restaurant on one side and like a store in the other, and I'm just seeing like a place that's very like wood paneled in my head, and I don't know what it is, but I still have like very fond memories of that and seeing like the Rainbow Magic books there. I swear to God, like in my little kid brain, however, these were like books, like not like this, obviously. Maybe like half the size, but like a proper book, over 100 pages. Yeah, I just it was so weird to see it in the shop, and then I picked it up and I was like, this is so small. But yeah, it's a story for very young kids, and that makes sense. I you know, some of these that I pick up and I'm like, I can also do a review on this. I really don't think this is one of them, because I cannot uncouple it from the person that I was. And that's fine, honestly. I think as well, because I remember there's still something, even though it's not rainbow magic. There's still, I think these books are still ongoing, and I think I remember seeing that they were ghostwritten at one point. I cannot verify that, and I really don't want it. And I was disappointed, which feels really strange to say. Like, who cares? And so I was very curious when I saw like the special thanks that maybe this was the person who wrote it. Um, but yeah, I could keep rambling on about this, and none of it is, you know, gonna be about the book itself or how good it is or bad it is. So I think I'm just gonna stop here. Um, yeah, that was really nice. I I'm not gonna read any more Rainbow Magic unless, you know, something else happens. I wander into a store and just see another copy. But I'm happy. That was great. That was so nice to go back to it.